Okay, I'm out of labels. I'm out of the labels that are done. Mom!
I'm struggling with this clip.
Well, hello.
My name is Jason Gronewald. I'm the director of Heal Utah. Would you like to see where I keep my tchotchke?
Yeah.
It's a very lovely addition, and I put it on to remind us we were actually the group that first helped with the premiere of Blue Vinyl when it came to Utah in the Sundance Film Festival. We actually showed Blue Vinyl to a group of Mormon housewives, folks in the Layton area who were concerned about a garbage incinerator that was putting terrible amounts of pollution into the local community.
This garbage incinerator sits not far from homes in Layton. Tammy Babbitt has lived here for 14 years and says the plant has violated emissions standards on several occasions.
As citizens, we've actually petitioned to have them pay those fines in ways of either recycling, planting trees, doing things that can really help the community, and we still haven't heard from their stalling.
Now this group is taking lessons on how to collect air samples from the Louisiana Bucket Brigade, the very group highlighted in the Sundance documentary Blue Vinyl. Laura Cox is part of that brigade.
These are concerned citizens. They're not exactly sure how to go about organizing, and they need training.
Training on how to create and operate their own air monitoring system. The producers of Blue Vinyl say they want to get the point across that manufacturing and burning polyvinyl chloride creates dangerous toxins, and communities can do something about it.
So we've actually seen now, as a result of all the work that's been done locally and getting the word out, the burn plant cleaned up, put in new pollution control equipment. They reduced their dioxin emissions by 99%, mercury emissions by 95%, lead was drastically reduced. And I honestly believe that if it weren't for these kind of activities where people really saw the impacts that these toxic chemicals were having on their health, we would have never seen that change happen.
The one thing that organizers are always looking for is a way to communicate with the public and with the media and with legislatures and the marketplace. Always looking for the next way to do that that's different and it's going to be more effective.
I could go home and tell my mother it was good to make the movie because San Francisco is following suit.
We started the process a few years back when we passed a resolution in 1999 that guided the city to address the issue of dioxin, one of the more potent carcinogens known to science. We now have an ordinance in San Francisco directing city departments to eliminate PVC from its purchases.
Blue Vinyl gave us the tool to reach new audiences and new constituencies.
The city of San Francisco has taken a major step. And it's the first time in my experience in working with government agencies where something really wonderful was done without overcoming tremendous amounts of resistance, without having to litigate, without having to shame.
And I think the reason why Blue Vinyl is different than other films is because of the relationship between the organizers, the filmmakers, and Working Films, in which we strategize together about how to be mutually supportive. How can our organizing work help the filmmakers to distribute a film that has the message that we want? And how do the filmmakers put Blue Vinyl into our hands, make it accessible, be accessible themselves to us so that we can reach those immediate as well as short-term and long-term goals for the movement?
I'm standing here wearing this little piece of vinyl that I got after watching the movie Blue Vinyl, which was kind of an inspiration for our project and for this project.
Blue Vinyl turned this debate from a technical argument about science and architectural standards into water cooler conversation, living room conversation, lunchroom conversation. This is something now that is on the lips of people because the movie catalyzed this popular understanding of the problem.
The last couple of days, a lot of people said, well, geez, what can I do? So we have this postcard, and it's addressed to Leslie Wexner, CEO of Intimate Brands.
always despised it, but after I saw Blue Vinyl, I now have a comeback when Sears calls me and does the telemarketing thing. My response is, no, and I don't want it because it is the most vile substance on the face of the earth. Thank you.
Wonderful day. We celebrate the beginning of a new life and a new home with Shyla and her family. She has been an incredibly hard worker. She and her family put in 350 hours of sweat equity.
What does it say about us as people of faith that we are willing to put our mark on future generations like that? The sooner that we can get one house to not have vinyl siding, the sooner we can get one synagogue to not have vinyl flooring, then we begin to drive the market in all kinds of ways.
There are volumes of scientific and medical papers available to back up these claims and the state's considered determination. And for those of you who are movie fans, you may find it interesting that the resource that I first encountered when I started preparing for this litigation was the video Blue Vinyl by Judith Helfand and Daniel Hill.
You want that? Yeah, we're playing that for real.
Thank you so much. I'm a Mount Holyoke student. The Campus Conservation Coalition at my school showed it, and we emailed around, and everybody came to see it. It was great. It was really great.
Hopefully what you can see there is that Judy Robinson actually was one of the lead organizers in that entire campaign. Started working with us when the film was still in production, came and led a strategic meeting before we went to Sundance when we knew we were going to be on HBO. And hopefully she says it, which was that we were very open to hearing from those guys how this film could be of service in the work that they're already doing. And they were the access point to a number of the impacts that you saw. The piece, for instance, with that Greenpeace was running to Intimate Brands, which asking them to be PVC free in their packaging, we wouldn't have known about. The only reason we knew about it is because the strategist was there before that campaign was launched. When we were talking about going to Sundance, we were able to complement their organizing with 1,500 postcards from Sundance we were sending to the CEO every single day. That takes on a certain impetus, and when it says greetings from Sundance, just learn the toxic truth of PVC, that gets somebody's attention. She called us at Sundance six days into the festival and said, we want to meet. They committed to being PVC free in 2005. The piece you saw in Kaiser Permanente, which is an enormous healthcare provider in the U.S., they own 30 hospitals, 250 medical centers. We went to a conference that was hosted by Healthcare Without Harm at their invitation. They folded us into that strategy, working with those health centers, and that Kaiser Permanente screened the Blue Vinyl for their employees in procurement and construction and renovation projects. Over the course of a year, 1,000 of their employees saw it. They committed to being PVC free this past summer and pushed their manufacturer of their largest the largest supplier of their carpeting to be PVC free. Now that is real impact. The reason that Judith and I started working films was that we knew that great stories of social justice, these great stories, documentaries that always had impact. Sometimes it was ephemeral, sometimes it was personal, sometimes it was more complex than that. But we knew that if you're really looking for impact, you have to have a strategy, you have to have it early on, you have to commit to it, and you don't have to run it. A lot of the efforts that you saw were actually run by activists in the field that were already committed to this issue, that have been using blue vinyl over 2 years, will use it in the next 2 years. One of the reasons that the other piece, another chapter on this DVD, will be a chapter about the PVC-free Habitat House. That is, when this DVD is done, we're going to send a copy of the DVD to all the Habitat chapters. They'll be able to see the film, not only see the film, but also see the potential for the impact and what impact was there, and really be challenged to meet the potential future impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. You guys, you're just, you know, exactly on time. I'm moving along to hear from Diana.